Hello everyone, my name is Alejandro. I'm studying at the UTPL English. Today I'm going to talk about what is driving you crazy and everything related to driving. First of all, I would like to say that I have been driving since I was 16 years old. I still remember as it was yesterday when my mom taught me how to drive. I remember that she bought a car in the year 1996. It was a big old car, a green one, what I can remember. And she asked me if I wanted to learn how to drive, and of course I said yes. Of course, Mom, I want to learn how to drive. So then the same that night she took me and started teaching me the basics, how to handle the stick, how to push the gas and the brakes and even the clutch, to know the procedures and how synchronize all your body in order to do the switches on the stick. So after explaining all those things and giving me a little sample of what I should do in the case of an emergency, or if maybe a police officer or an agent comes by. So I just took a deep breath and said, okay, Mom, I'm gonna do it. So I sit down, and then I use my seat belt. I put on my seat belt, and then start driving. First of all, I press the clutch, put the stick on first, and then I start driving. That was a wonderful experience. I remember once my mom, after driving that night, she told me that I was doing okay. And I kept on practicing for like a week. After that, my mom, when she was driving back home from work, I remember that on that day she picked me up from the school and took me home. And she asked me if I wanted to drive, and my response to that question was yes, I want to do it. So I sat on her place. She sat on to where I was sitting and started driving. I was a little afraid because maybe some transit agent could be around on the street, because it was still a day. It was during the day, about 6 o'clock or something. Well, anyway, so I just started driving, and right after like 5 minutes driving, there was a police officer on the street, or a transit officer. So my mom said, just keep on driving, don't look at him, just go straight. And that's what I did. And after that I felt really, really scared, because I thought maybe he was going to stop me because I was a young driver. Anyways, that was my scary experience, my first scary experience on driving. Now, after that, I started driving again when I was 18 years old, because my mom sold the car. Anyways, I had the chance to drive a car, but it wasn't here in Ecuador. I had the opportunity to get a license up in the United States when I was living there. I lived there for 2 years. So I got my license. I had to take a driving test first in order to get my license. And what is amazing about that is that compared to Ecuador, getting a license up in the United States is really, really cheap. I spent like $12 or $15. I can't remember actually how much it was, but it was really cheap compared to $200 that take the test and the license here. The total of it is like a lot of money. So when I took my test there and passed it, it was really amazing because people up in the United States, it's really organized and they just go by the rules, or they just follow all the rules that you have in transit or on the streets. They're very polite, even though there's still some people that it's road that is road rigid, but uh, compared to here, driving in the United States is really easy and very safe. Now, I would really like to talk about the advantages and disadvantages of driving or having maybe a car. And after that, I would like to share some experiences that I have had during all these years driving, and that is about 10 years. I mean, I'm 35 years old, and minus plus 16, it's about 15 years of driving, or even more. I think it's 20, close to 20. Anyways, and from all this experience, what I can say about cars or driving is that it's a really good thing having a car or driving, because when you have a car or when you are driving, you can get to as many places as you want. You can travel to different cities here in Ecuador. You can visit many places. You can do tourism all around Ecuador. Of course, you're gonna have to pay, the money that you need to pay for gas. But besides that, having a car, it's a wonderful opportunity that you have to visit and know different places in a short period of time, or in a short well, you can do many things when you have a car. You can be in different places in short times. Anyways, besides that, one of the disadvantages is that you have to pay for your gas, and that you have to have a budget for your car, because the car needs oil. The car needs to be taken to the mechanic once in a while to check on the engine, to check on the brakes, to check on every single thing that the car has, every single device, if it's electric or if it's mechanic. So the cars really need a budget, because that's what you have to do. If not, the car will break or won't work anymore. So I believe those are one of the disadvantages that you have if you have or drive a car, compared to the wonderful opportunities that you have to travel. You just get used to it. It's just a matter of time to set up your mind that you need to make a lot more money in order to have the saved amount of money to pay for the use of your car. But still, it's your own car. Now, about the good experiences, in all these years, one of the good experiences is that I have never had any crack or any crash. I have never crashed with my car. That's a good thing. I have taken or driven many people, friends, family, my children, and everybody, and I have, thanks God, I have never had any troubles or accidents with my car. Because the reason of that is because I have been really careful when I'm driving. Even though I'm a little bit crazy sometimes, that's what my wife says, I'm still really careful when I do things or when I maneuver my car. About bad experiences, I remember that once I was driving, on the street, and I was just crossing the stoplight, and just from nowhere appeared a car that didn't stop on the stop sign, just went by all the way. So I just have to brake and honk at the same time, because the guy almost cracked my car, almost crashed me. And I got really, really upset, because the guy was like I thought that he maybe hasn't had in his mind, like, I don't care who you are, I'm just going to pass. So he just went by all the way through, and I got really upset, and I started like following him or chasing him to see who that guy was. So I have to admit that I was tailing his car, and once I got him, or I stopped by his car, I just pulled my car in front of his car and just hit the brakes, and the guy was really upset too, and he started honking on me, and a little bit I felt kind of awkward, because I shouldn't have done that, because you never know who you're gonna meet on the streets, or what you're gonna get on the streets. So after that, I just thought, like, what? I hope I won't get in trouble. So anyways, the guy just pulled over again, and I just didn't want him to pass me, so I just started, pumping the gas even harder. So I was just trying to get in front of him all the time, until I got into a stoplight, and I had to brake, because if not, I would have probably caused an accident. So when he stopped by me, he just rolled his window down and said, "You better be careful, dude. You never know who you're gonna get on the street. This street is really dangerous. Probably you get hit, or you get killed by a gun." So after he said that, I started thinking about my family and all that I have done, and I said, maybe this guy is right, I shouldn't have done that. So after doing that, I said to myself I promised to myself that I will never get angry or road rage. I will never have road rage on the street. So after that bad experience I had, I just been working on myself to be more patient when I'm driving, to always be a polite driver, let the people walk through, or let the car that are going crazy on the street just go, never getting fights or in troubles with anyone on the streets. And that's what I basically trying to do all the time. Recommendations for people, for me, would be that it's always to be nice, to be polite when you're driving. Try not to honk too much on your cars or to anyone, because that really get people upset. That is the same as yelling to someone, and that's not good. Remember that when you're driving, you are using a machine. The machine is part of you, and that could become a gun if you don't use it like with responsibility, because you can probably kill someone on the street. So that's why I would recommend, like, not to honk, to always watch out, be careful, be polite, and don't speed up. Try to go by the limit on the speed. Try not to have, if you get pulled over by a police officer, try not to complain with him. Just be relaxed. Sometimes we get upset when they're saying that we are doing something wrong, even though if it's not, we still need to be calm and relaxed so that we won't have any problems. And besides that, just take a good care of your vehicle so that it will be in good conditions when you are driving. And if you do all these things, you probably won't have any problems with yourself or with anybody else on the street or next to you or close to you. That will be my recommendation and my experiences and all the talk I can say about all this subject. Thank you very much. Bye.